Hi everyone, so today we're in my bathroom, which I have YouTubified for your viewing pleasure. We're in the bathroom today because I am going to talk to you about my skincare. If you follow me on my blog or on Twitter, you'll know that this year I have had some troubles with my skin. Basically, I've always had pretty bad skin ever since I was a teenager. I've had very oily, kind of blemish prone skin that I eventually went on the pill for when I was 16. So I started taking the pill, which completely sorted me out. I stayed on the pill for almost 15 years, decided to come off it at the beginning of January purely because I wasn't really comfortable having been on it for such a long time. Thought it was probably time to not be on it anymore. So I stopped taking the pill and basically my skin went apeshit. That's the only way I can describe it. It regressed to its 15-year-old self, and since the beginning of this year it has been a real struggle to get it back under control. And I think actually it's harder this time round than it was when I was 15. It's harder to deal with, it's harder emotionally, because when you're 15 pretty much everyone's got bad skin. It's accepted as part and parcel of being a teenager, whereas when you are in your late 20s, early 30s or older, it's not something that's common anymore. And especially if your career involves having to face people on a daily basis, so if you've got customers or clients, or you're doing presentations to your colleagues, or even just, you know, existing in an office where other people look at your face every day, it's a huge confidence knock. And it feels extremely unfair if you, like me, battled with bad skin in your teens and you thought, oh, thank God that's over, and now here we are again. However, in the last kind of month or so, I feel like I finally got on top of my bad skin. And although it's not by any means perfect, I don't think I'll ever have perfect skin because that's just my genetics. I think I'm kind of predisposed to having spots and blemishes and shine forever. Fun. I think at least I have managed to get it under control. So I wanted to share the things that I've been doing, the products that I've been using to achieve that, and hopefully help if you are in the same situation as me and you're thinking, my God, when will it ever end? I'd like to do a quick disclaimer here. I'm going to presume in this video that you are a little bit older and you have a bit more money to spend on your skincare. I spend loads of money, quite truthfully, on skincare, because it's not only is it something I think is better when you spend more. I think products perform better the more expensive they are, which is true for pretty much everything really. But also I really enjoy skincare, I'm really interested in it, and I enjoy spending my money on it. So, disclaimer over, but you're not going to find any budget stuff here, so yeah, I'm just going to dive straight in and I'm going to start with cleansers. So the first one I have is, there we go, so that's the Sunday Riley Ceramic Slip Clay Cleanser, which is for normal to oily skin, and it has a whole load of stuff in it, including clay. This is £35 for this bottle. I think that is very expensive. This is the second most expensive product I have in my stash, and I'm not adverse to spending that much money on a single product at all, but I think for that price I would want it to work, basically. I want it to do something quite spectacular, and I don't think this does. I think it's a really nice cleanser. I like it a lot. I'm not going to repurchase it though, but I thought I would include it because this is a product that gets mentioned quite a lot and I'm just not that into it. Yeah, that's basically it. So I thought I'd start with that. That's a really negative note to start on, and I apologise for that. Let's move on. Here's a product that I do love and think works very well, and that will set the tone for the rest of this video. This is new from Pixi. This is the Glow Mud Cleanser, and I only actually got this at the weekend, so I can't fully comment on how effective it is, but having used it for the last couple of days, I really like this. So this, I think this is £22. It's definitely not cheap, but it's not the higher end of the scale either. This has 5% glycolic acid and aloe vera, both really great ingredients for oily skin, for blemishes, for keeping skin under control. This is what I use in the morning and as my second cleanse on an evening, just with warm water just between my hands and on my face. You can also use this as a mask, which I think is really good. I love double use products. I think that's great. So this is a good one. My main cleanser for the evening, the one I use to take all of my makeup off, is Clinique Take the Day Off, which is one of my favourite ever cleansers. It's really good. This is £22 and you get quite a big kind of pot, and then it's a very waxy style cleanser that you put between your palms like this and apply to your face. When it's heated between your hands, it has kind of an oily texture, which is really nice, I think, for soothing the skin, and it really just whips off all of your makeup. I apply it to a dry face and remove it with a flannel. I think that's the best kind of way to use those like balmy cleansers. The thing I like about a lot of Clinique stuff is that it's very effective without being flowery. I think one of the worst things you can do for oily, sensitive, blemish prone skin is overload it with fragrances, with stuff that's got a lot of alcohol in it. I find natural ingredients to be really difficult as well, so that's why a lot of my products are from brands like Clinique, who are on the more kind of scientific side of skincare. Those are my cleansers. So now I'm going to move on to exfoliating / toning, and this is one I'm sure you will recognise. Look, it's so nice, new bottle. Pixie's Glow Tonic Exfoliating Toner with 5% glycolic and aloe vera and ginseng. This is great for evening out the skin tone, so I use it a lot to kind of keep my oil production under control. It's really good for reducing blemishes and clearing out the skin, and giving it that kind of more radiant, fresher, more awake appearance. It's £18 as well, so it's kind of middle of the price range, not too expensive, and just really good for after cleansing on an evening on a cotton wool pad all over the face, just to kind of revitalise it a bit. So next I'm going to show you some stuff I use to specifically treat my skin when it's particularly bad. So about 3 weeks ago I had a really stressful kind of a couple of days at work, and my skin reacted by going, "I hate you, here's a load of spots." So to keep that situation under control, I turned to the more treatment side of my skincare collection, starting with, this is the Origins Clear Improvement Mask. This is an active charcoal mask to clear pores, and it has, I think it has, yeah, white china clay in it as well. So clay, as you can probably tell, is one of my fave ingredients for my skin, because I just think it's really good at deeply cleaning the pores, kind of purifying the skin, which is really important when you have excess oil and your pores are constantly getting blocked, and that's what causes the blemishes. So the Clear Improvement Mask, I think this is also around the £20 mark. So again, not massively expensive really. This has lasted me ages, because you really do need just a tiny little bit. Good one for maybe once or twice a week, especially if you've got breakouts, just either all over your face or just on targeted areas. If you've got them like on your chin or something, you just want a quick fix. It's really good for kind of drying out blemishes and reducing redness and generally getting your skin back under control. If I've got a few spots that are kind of hanging on that I cannot get rid of, I really like this by SKN, which is Anti-Blemish Blemish Control Lotion, which again has all different kinds of acids in that help to minimise the spots, to kind of draw out the impurities and reduce them down so they just don't look as horrendously heartbreaking in a morning. This is a really good one to dab on a night when you've done your kind of cleansing, and just let it get to work as you're asleep. It's good because it has that tingly feeling. If you ever used to put toothpaste on your spots when you were younger, I did, and sometimes I still do. Don't tell anyone. But it feels like that. It's got that kind of minty tingle to it, which makes it really feel like it's actually doing something to your blemishes, which is good. So now I'm going to go on to moisturizers. So confession time, I don't really moisturize my skin that much, which I know sounds like a huge faux pas, because the one thing you get told when you have oily skin is that you've still got to moisturize it. If you don't, your skin will just produce loads more oil and you'll be back at square one. That's what we always get told as people with oily skin. However, I find that if I moisturize my skin too much or with the wrong kind of product, it's just a real oil slick up in there, and by 11 o'clock my mascara is down by my chin and I'm having a terrible time. So I prefer to use serums and oils to nourish my skin rather than moisturizers to add moisture back in. However, I do have one on my list because I think it's still important to moisturize during the day to help your makeup sit better on your skin, and also to provide some sun protection, which is where this comes in. This is La Roche-Posay from the Anthelios XL range, which is actually their summer skincare range, and this is the Anti-Shine 50 SPF Dry Touch Gel Cream. So like I said, this is more of an SPF focused product. I think it's probably designed for when you're on holiday and you're sitting out on the beach in the sun, sunbathing, because it's such a high SPF and it's obviously marketed around sun protection. But I find this to be great just for every day. I think you need some protection every day, especially if you're using Glow Tonic or even the mud cleanser or anything that's got a glycolic acid in or anything like that, because you need some protection when you use products like that. Retinols, vitamin A, all that kind of stuff needs some protection, otherwise you could end up with hyperpigmentation, which I also have, but that's a story for another time. So yeah, this is great. It's just a really light, really refreshing, quick dry moisturizer, soaks right into the skin, doesn't make me shiny, doesn't break me out. It's a really good one, so I'd recommend that, definitely. The last things I want to show you are a couple of nourishing products that I use in lieu of a moisturizer on an evening. I think it's important to add some nourishment back into your skin, but I don't always think that needs to come from a moisturizing cream. I think a lot of the oils and serums can be used instead of that moisturizing step, especially if you have oily skin, and moisturizers tend to kind of kickstart your oil production. This one, which is the Hylamide Sub-Q Anti-Age. There we go. This is a lovely serum. It's really light. It's kind of like watery, so it kind of feels like it's not doing a great deal. However, it really does do a lot. It sinks in really nicely. It's great for reducing blemishes. It's great for balancing out the skin. It's also got retinols in it, which are good for anti-aging, for if you want to tackle fine lines or anything like that. And it's really quite refreshing to put on as well. I find it really nice after doing all my big long cleansing routine to then just kind of slather this on, go to bed. It's really quite a nice light way to finish my routine. It's about 30, like 27 maybe, so really decently priced serum, that one. On the nights that I'm not using that serum, I like to use Sunday Riley's Luna, which is, I'm sure you've heard, an absolute delight. It is a retinol and blue tansy, don't know what blue tansy is, but it's in there, treatment oil, which I use in place of a moisturizer on an evening. This is expensive. This was £85. However, I've got about half left and I've had it for maybe 4 or 5 months. The thing with Luna is it feels completely worth it because it's kind of a miracle product. It is great for anti-aging, great for those fine lines, but it's also amazing on blemishes, balancing the skin, all that stuff that's really good when you have oiliness, when you have blemishes, when you have breakouts. It's brilliant at that, and it also feels really nice to put on, and it's blue and it makes your face blue just for a second and you can pretend to be a Smurf. Not really, I don't do that. So that was my skincare routine. If you are a similar age to me and you are suffering with spots or acne or just general bad skin, I would highly recommend looking into some of those products. I will put all the links in the box below. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time.